Man, I love coming out, man. I love seeing other comedians, man. Comedy is one of those things to where I think it's dope when somebody puts out their point of view and makes you realize, you know, all of us are just as fucked up as each other. Maybe I'm not as open-minded as I thought I was. I learn that every time I see a comedy show because certain things happen that make you realize you're not as open-minded as you thought you were, right? You go through life, you get along with everybody, right? Then something happens that makes you realize you're not as open-minded as you thought you were. Like my moment came when Michael Sam, he was an open gate football player, came out, got drafted to go to the NFL. This man wants to play professional football. I have no problem with an openly gay man wanting to play professional football. I can give a shit, all right? But then Michael Sam gets drafted. Now, they have Michael Sam on television, right? Big black guy kissing his boyfriend in the mouth when he gets drafted. That was when I realized I'm not as open-minded as I thought I was, right? Because like Michael Sam, big old black dude, kissing this little white dude in the mouth on regular television. It wasn't on FX or anything else. It was on ESPN. And the whole time this big black dude is kissing this white dude in the mouth, I'm like, I mean, you could get a black boyfriend? You make a little money, you get drafted, and you just start selling the fuck out. That's what you're
rolling out, so
Cool. Let's do it. We want hot takes and everything. We want to have crazy stuff. It's gonna be wild. This is behind the scenes. This is like reality TV type stuff. You're only in for a treat. I'm so controversial. It's just what I am.
I ain't heard nothing you say controversial yet.
I'm the most unthreatening person ever.
You made for Netflix.
Right, dude. I'll take it. It don't matter what it is, bro. I'll do it, like, for real. Like.
All right, we're here at the Comedy Club Stardome in Birmingham, Alabama.
That's beautiful, Birmingham.
Brian B-Cov, Covington, straight out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Pow. Yes. What's up, y'all?
Now, you from the real Nashville,
Bruh.
or the first 48 Nashville?
Nah, I'm from for real Nashville. Like, it's funny because like I've seen it grow. Like just growing up here, it's getting gentrified now, and I feel like we're like a major league town now because we got sports teams. So now we got new people moving into the city, which is funny for us, you know, born and raised people of the city, because we see these folks buying old crack houses and they're all happy. And I'm like, you know, you pay like $500,000 for a crack house, right? Like you need to put some cameras up or something, because you probably got like some paranormal cracktivity happening in your house.
Almost evil, one of them houses.
Some evil crackhead spirits, and then, hey, kid folk, can I get $1? So, yeah, that's how this be. Yeah, man, I'm old Nashville, born and raised. Yeah.
Okay, so people might not have heard from you.
No, I know they probably definitely haven't, man. But I've been grinding, man. I've been been doing comedy about 13 years now. Dude.
Okay.
Just trying to get better at it. Balancing family life, comedy road life. Luckily, man, I've been married to the same beautiful woman for 16 years this upcoming February. So she kind of gets.
That's not what entertainers do.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's why I let people know, like, I got stable first, so that way if anybody wants to take a chance on me, they know I'm not, look, dude, I don't have time to mess around.
Wow, 16 years.
I already do, 16 years. She's road manager, security, bitch be gone patrol. She's everything.
That's what you need.
So it makes it easier, man. So she understands the grind. She understands if I have to be out late. Either that or she's just accepted that nobody else will sleep with me other than her. So I don't know. So I just take it, whatever. But it's definitely cool, man. It's definitely cool.
We noticed you opened up for a lot of comics that people may have heard of. Who are some of those people?
Yeah, man. I worked with man, dude, a lot of people, man. People that kind of, it trips me out, dude. I was with John Witherspoon just this past weekend. And it's a trip to see somebody that you grew up watching. You're able to work with them, and you know, I don't want to say I'm on that level, but you kind of become peers with somebody. Yeah, you know, once you share that time, share a whole weekend just sitting in the green room talking and tripping, you kind of get to know somebody off stage. So I was with John Witherspoon last weekend, man. I've done a couple times with Deion Cole, who's one of my favorites, man. Bruce. Vel Crawford.
That's them the top
man,
dogs.
Dude. I mean, you know, so I'm cool. I just sit back and learn and try to see how they operate and how they treat people. And one of the biggest things, man, is that everybody is so cool to their fans. You know, so it's like I'm just trying to build that fan base and let them know, like, I'm a regular dude, man, and it just so happens to tell jokes and try to connect with people and trying to build that rapport with them. So that's one of the biggest things I learned.
You notice anything different from the, like you said, John Witherspoon? I mean, this dude, I think he's about to be 76 years old.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And he's still active. Like, he's active on stage. He's not just up there sitting down. Like, he's bouncing around. He moved around more than I did. I was like, man, let me get it together. But, you know, it's just a trip to see somebody at that point, you know. But then on the flip side of it, man, I've done weekends with
That ain't good.
Uh-oh.
All right, we still with B-Cov.
Yes.
We got operator error. Light went
ain't
out.
nothing wrong.
We're late.
Gotta be mobile in the game. Gotta be mobile.
But we're talking about John Witherspoon and how he's still heavy in the game.
Dude, it's just crazy, man. Like when you see a guy who's been doing it that long and then he's still doing it at a high level, like this dude still has a lot of dates, you know. But you know, on the flip side, I've done weekends with Ralphie May before, and we just lost him. So it's something. It kind of puts everything in perspective, man. Make sure that you don't take anything for granted as far as being on the stage, because it's a lot of people who've been doing it at a high level who's not doing it anymore, man. So I definitely don't take it for granted. I just try to give my all, and my motto is just don't suck and let everything else take care of itself, you know. So it's cool.
I know you're not a controversial comic.
Not at all.
But there's a controversial topic we gotta discuss.
Let's do it.
On the plate right there.
Monique said no more Netflix and chill.
My thing is, man, I'm a firm believer in is how you say things. I mean, I'm not gonna tell anybody not to get their money or not put a value on themselves. Especially as comedians, man, it's tough to figure out and finally get a voice to where you know your worth and you know your value. So when you get to that point, please make your money. And it's kind of tough because I think for comedians, one of the things people like about comedians is that we seem like we kind of connect. Like everybody knows somebody like us, so they want to feel like you're kind of a regular person. So when you hear somebody who's looking crazy at $500,000, like, yeah, in relative to her situation, that's not a lot, but to the person who saves up money to come see you on a weekend, it's like you turning down what? So it kind of makes you lose that attainability, that regular person factor. That's just what I feel. And I think, you know, they end up, I mean, it just seems like it's kind of, I get it, I understand it, but it seems like her fan base is kind of like, you know, they don't get it, they don't understand. But I mean, by all means, make your money. Who am I to tell you not to go after what you think you deserve?
Now that relatability, especially in urban comedy, is kind of important.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Because I think it's the coolest part about doing, especially for black folks, dude. When we like you, we've adopted you. Because that's why people love Monique. They got an auntie that's just like that. They love to see Adele Gibbons. They got an auntie. They want to see some more because they know people like that. It's funny. I've done weekends with people, and they're sitting there talking to folks after a show and on a Saturday. Dude, it's crazy how many people get invited to church. Just when somebody sees Bruce and they like Bruce, they feel so connected to him. That's like, hey, why don't you come by the house, get something to eat, come to church. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it is. You know, because we identify, we grasp on. So I think that's one of the cool things about comedy, man.
Now on the flip side, people feel so comfortable they want to jump on stage and fight.
Bro, it's crazy. Like it's and from everything they hear, they made it sound like dude just snap. And but that's totally the club's fault, man. From what I heard, they said the people from the kitchen had to come calm dude down and all that. Like every club should have somebody in place security wise. You know, it shouldn't have. I don't think it should have gotten to that point.
Have you been in that situation?
No, never, man. Never. You know, the weirdest thing I had one chick, she was drunk. She was drunk and she just ended up popping up on stage, but just because like she wanted to talk. So it was nuts. Like it was funny because back in the green room, I was at my home club in Nashville at Zany's, and we're in the green room, all the comedians, we're just joking, tripping, and we're flipping channels, right? We turn it from the game, and we get stuck on the exorcism of Emily Rose. And so we're just cracking jokes about it, talking about how crazy it is and all that. So then, dude, I go out on stage and I'm in the middle of my set and I turn to the left, and after I turn back around, it's this long-haired, blonde-headed white lady who looked just like Emily Rose. So I'm just like, man, I know I'm not that drunk. Like, I know it's not. But it was funny because she just wanted to talk. And so, you know, they got her, but it just happened so fast, man. That's the only time. But it wasn't confrontational. She was just drunk and wanted to talk. But then once I found out she was out in the crowd in the line talking and drinking, and so that's the closest. Luckily, man, I've never been encountered with anything like that. So.
And you're not a controversial guy, so.
No. Like nobody really cares to fight me. I don't know why. It's a survival tactic. So the humor came as a survival tactic. So.
Super Bowl's coming up. You got any predictions? Not for the game, for Justin Timberlake.
You know what, man? I actually forgot dude was even doing it, man. I don't even know if I'm gonna pay attention to it. Cause it's like, I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm on this like extra woke stuff, so I feel like any white person that does black music, I hate on them now. I don't know why. Like, I just feel like I'm just too woke now. You know what I'm saying? You can tell by my pro-blackness. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like anybody's a culture vulture. I don't want to. But no, man, I just hate that shun, you know what I'm saying, Janet Jackson like that, but then they're gonna have Timberlake. But you know, I'm neither here nor there.
You know what? I forgot a question. How'd you get your start in comedy?
Man, dude. Okay, so a partner of mine who does comedy, man, dude by the name of Renard Hirsch. Renard and I went to Renard and I went to high school together. We came up, went to high school together, and so we've been cool since like 10th grade. And so we always just kind of just tripped in class and just, you know, doing silly stuff. And he actually got into it first because he started getting into like theater and acting and all that stuff. So he started doing stand-up. And so he was just like, man, why don't you come out? Like, just come check it out. So I went out a couple times, checked it out, and then I went to one of his shows. And I mean, it's weird. It sounds like something off of TV, but somebody didn't show up. So somebody didn't show up. He told the dude, like, hey, my man's funny. Why don't you just let him try? And so we just went out there. I think it may have been like 14 people, dude. It wasn't even people really in the crowd. It was just 14 people. And I was like, let me just talk about stuff I think is funny. And if people laugh, and I mean, there was a few people who laughed and like it's been on ever since. Yeah, it was cool. You know, it started to become a challenge. Like it kind of makes me feel like, you know, they were laughing, but not everybody was laughing. So let me figure out what I got to do to get those people laughing. It's kind of like every comedian, like no matter how well you do, you're still going to be focusing on the people or person that wasn't laughing like you thought they should. So that's what kind of just gave me the itch for it, man. I've been going ever since.
Yeah, I've noticed that about comics. Like that's crazy that you can be on stage performing and paying attention at the same time.
It's funny, man. I can see. I always kind of pick out the person who's enjoying it the most, and then the person who's not enjoying themselves. So I just try to find that happy medium. Like I'm like, all right, let me work on you until you laugh. But when you're not laughing, let me look at the person who's enjoying themselves. So it kind of gives me like a nah, forget you. They like it, so I know it's funny. You know what I'm saying? So those are two people I always pick up on.
So you secretly dissing that person in your head? Though.
Basically in my head. Yeah, I'm my only child, dog. So I pretty much dog out and talk about everybody to myself. I'm cool entertaining myself. So I have conversations with myself when I'm on stage, and you know, you just peep people out, man. It's a trip. It's cool.
You got this podcast going on.
Man, dude, you know what? We started off as a podcast, but now we're on it's on National Public Radio, but then we also got picked up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and also in Austin, Texas. It's called The Scenario. And basically all it is, man, is that we try to do, our goal is to get it syndicated like drive time syndication, kind of like how DL has that slot, that little after work slot. So it's basically the whole premise of it is, man, like Generation X, we're grown up now, you know, we're making decisions, we're raising families. So we're just trying to talk about real issues. Like we have stuff on there, we have like a little millennial show that they did, just talking about the differences between millennials in the workplace from Gen X. But we always have a playlist with it. Basically the whole premise of the show is, it's called The Scenario, but it's real talk with a playlist. So every episode we'll have a little playlist that goes with it. Sometimes we'll do a freestyle episode where we just talk about whatever's going on, and we'll do like a top 90s R&B group countdown, you know, something like that. But it's a great show. It's me, a guy named Van Johnson, and a young lady by the name of KB. And it's a great show. We've been doing it like 2 years now. Luckily, we've been picked up in 2 other markets, and we're just shopping it out to people. So hopefully one day we can get it syndicated. But it's called The Scenario Radio Show. It's on Facebook, The Scenario Radio Show. You can like the page. All the archive episodes, we've been going for 2 years strong. Instagram is The Scenario Radio Show. Same thing on Twitter, The Scenario Radio Show. So it's a great thing, man. It's every Saturday. We air live from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central. But all the old shows, archive shows, is all online. Okay. So it's cool, man. I love it.
As a comic, is that important to you to not only be funny all the time, but talk about some hot topics and important issues?
Yeah, I think so, man, because it keeps you well-rounded. And plus, there's always some humor in something. You know, everybody's used to a comedian kind of being the comic relief. So I make sure I am that, but at the same time, I'm not a fool with it. You know, it's like you want to show people kind of connect when they see people kind of know what they're talking about. You know, so I don't just go up there just to try to be funny. I mean, don't get me wrong. Humor is what I do, but being able to, you know, really get for real about certain things, man. We got, you know, talking about kids, the educational system, the prison to, you know, the school to prison to pipeline system, that whole thing, man. We talk about that. I mean, we just had a lot of great shows, man, like sex trafficking, like just, I mean, like real stuff. But it's just, luckily, we just have a team that's able to pull it off and make it entertaining. And, you know, because there's shows that are out there, but they kind of talk about the same thing. Everybody wants to talk about, why can't I get a man? Why can't I keep relationships? But it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that's better than that, and we're more diverse than that. We don't always have to just talk about the same things, you know, because there's people who are out there in relationships who are raising kids, and you know, there's a whole point of view, there's a whole demographic of people who are like that. and they just want to hear, you know, they just don't want to hear foolishness.
Right.
So that's kind of what we aim
Most
to.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So there you have it. B-Cov is
Yes.
more than comedy. He's controversial sometimes.
Man, I'm crazy. I'm nuts, man. Y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna see me. You don't know what I'm about, man. But no, man, this has been great, man. Thanks so much for having me.
No
For
doubt.
real,
Shout out
for
to
real.
social media where everybody can find you.
Yeah, definitely. Instagram, I'm B-Cov98. That's B-Cov98 on Instagram. B-Cov98. Twitter, I'm B-Cov1. That's B-Cov1. Facebook, Brian, 2 quotations, B-Cov Covington. Brian B-Cov Covington, man. Y'all follow me. And wherever I travel, man, I try to make sure I get people out. I'm just trying to build a fan base. That's it.
B-Cov, Brian Covington at the Stardome in Birmingham,
Yes.
Alabama. Appreciate you,
Yes.
bro.
Hey, man.